For some reason I've always held off doing unboxing videos. I don't really know why. I think I've just had this idea that for some reason they weren't really worth doing, but the only way to find out whether they're worth doing or not is to actually do one. So I'm trying to do it nice and quick, get on with it, get the stuff open, get the stuff out. I do love watching other people unbox like job lots of scrap old toy cars that they bought on eBay and things like that, but it does frustrate me when they take forever about it. So first one, this is going to be a bit of a departure because I don't know if you can really tell from this picture, but it's bigger than the ones I'm used to. I don't know if I'd quite call it a 143. It probably is. It's a 143 type scale anyway. It'd probably fit alongside Corgi Vanguards and things like that. So the possibilities are endless. A little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm glad that passenger seat back is there. It's come loose, but at least it's actually there, because that would be a bit annoying if it wasn't. And it looks like I'm going to have to do something to replace the jewelled headlights that have gone missing. But overall, I'm quite looking forward to it. The possibilities seem almost limitless. It's a bigger canvas to expand out onto, basically. So looking forward to that. I wanted to get a few more of the late 60s, early 70s ones about. I've got quite a lot of 80s Matchbox ready to do and in stock at the moment, but running a little bit low on cars of this sort of era. So the Jag Mark 10, exquisite little casting. It's beautiful. The engine, when you open the bonnet, it's just gorgeous. And this is one that I did before. In fact, this is one of the very first ones that I did about 3 years ago. It's actually a Ford Mondeo colour. It's called Dark Mica Stone, but it's not dark. Yeah, see what you did there, Ford. Very, very postmodern, very good. So looking forward to doing this one, because that one was nice to do, and sure this one will be too. Whether I'll keep the gold theme or just have a different colour entirely, it won't be silver, because obviously I've already done that. That's the little tiny engines in there. So well detailed, look like the 12-cylinder ones, I'd have said, because these came with an 8 or a 12. I think they were thirsty either way. I bet they were pretty sublime to drive though. So yeah, that's them. Next is the Lamborghini Marzal. Now, unlike the Jag, which seems to be free of issues, once I've managed to get the bonnet open, it seems quite free of issues. The little plastic suspension leaf is in very good order, and the glass is fine, and the tow hitch at the back looks salvageable. This little yellow Marzal, it might have a suspension problem, I'm not sure, which will be a little bit of a pain if it turns out that that's the case, but we'll get through it. It's funny what you don't notice. You see how the wheel arch, the rear wheel arch on the earlier one with the skinnier wheels is different. That's actually more representative of what the real car was like. They've kind of widened it out to accommodate the bigger wheels, so it's a bit of a trade-off. The back arches aren't as nice, but you do get thicker, bigger wheels that sort of give it a bit more presence, so to speak. The glass is good. I'm not anticipating any real problems with this, and I've already got like I said, there might be something to do with the suspension, but other than that, it should be fairly straightforward. And but unfortunately, I've just made it disappear like something off Rent-A-Ghost. So that's that. So the Wildcat Mustang. No, actually, this is the one that I think might have the suspension problem. I think the Marzal might be all right. This, I think, the front. But funnily enough, it's still freewheels. Absolutely, it's still really fast and feels like it'd be really good to play with if that's what I had in mind. And the pink one next to it, that's one that I'd done before. So I went a little bit off the brief with this one because I ended up detailing in the grille and bumpers and things like that, and I'd started out with the idea that it was just going to be a completely kind of factory style, because this pink, I mean, even the pink's a bit of a deviation from the kind of pink that they used to use, but it's a bit like something you could imagine them using it back then in the 70s, with it having its original green glass in pretty good condition. I was going to do it as just I've just Rent-A-Ghost those two as well, so they've gone. So we've got the MG 1100. I think they've got this down as an MG 1100, and I don't know why. They could have put it down as an MG 1300, I'm sure, and just had it being the faster one, but never mind. But yeah, this is these can look quite exquisite, especially. I like the little skinny tap wheels that these have got. I actually like that feature about them, because the real car, you've got to remember, it's basically a big four-door Mini, so it's entitled to have little skinny wheels. Look quite dainty on them. Main thing is the glass is good, the dog's there, the guy's there, and the base plate's intact, because a lot of the time they aren't. They sometimes turn up with like the back bumper missing, but that's not happened to this one. This one should be all good fun all the way through. So the Marzal, I'm thinking the Miura that I've got next to it, that's a 2010s reissue, but I've painted that in the same colour, or very similar colour, to the original 60s Miura. And I'm thinking of something similar for this yellow Marzal. I think that will look nice, because the green one I've done as like a This is a factory variation that they never did, and the yellow one I'll probably do similar, but just like I say, with this kind of two-stage gold candy coat instead. So yeah, this isn't the one with the busted suspension, so this should be pretty straightforward and quite a nice thing to do. Hopefully as easy as the green one was, because if you remember, that was quite easy. So the Mustang, I'm thinking I might just stick to the original brief that I had for the pink one, and i.e. not add all the details like the window trim and the bumper and things like that. Just keep it as like a factory variation, but I won't repeat that same colour because that would be a bit silly and pointless when there's so many other wow colours that I could use instead. Anyway, it's all very well having an unboxing video outlining all the grandiose and far-fetched plans and intentions with the various different castings that have arrived, but it's now time for a work segment. And don't forget, the work segments do lend some substance to the unboxing videos, because well, I say unboxing videos, that's the only one I've ever done, and may not do any more, but putting a work segment in at the end underpins some of the bombastic claims regarding what I was going to do with all those by simply showing a different part of the process, i.e. the thing actually getting done. This Volvo would have been getting unboxed at some point, and now here it is being done. So I showed its rough paint stripped body next to the other Play 1 Volvo, just to give you an idea of what it was like when it came in. In fact, it was worse than that one. It was one of the burgundy ones, but it wasn't, because there was so little paint left on it. It did actually just look like more of a very dull tarnished silver than a burgundy. I don't know what it is about these Volvo 760s. They always seem to have been absolutely played to death by the time they come to me, but they don't seem to give up. There's never anything to do, like the glass never seems to be smashed, or the pillars never seem to be bent, they never seem to be flattened or caved in or anything like that. So there's never that, although they look really bad, there's never that much to really do with them. This one, there was a strange oxidation on the body, but I've got a feeling that could be something to do with, that could be partially something to do with I've been using the body of this to experiment with different paint finishes and things like that, and it could be just something that's left over from all that. I decided it was time to get it completed and get it its own forever paint, so to speak, like a permanent paint job that it's actually going to keep, and then we can call it finished. So yeah, it took a little bit more to. I mean, I know you might think at the moment that this is going to be mirror polished. It's not actually, but I just want to get the surface of the metal very smooth and very free of inconsistencies, because it is going to get candy painted. I'm going to use a silver undercoat, and then there's something else going to be going over the top. So I've almost got to get it up to mirror polishing standard, but not quite. I certainly I don't even need to go as far as 2000 grit with this. 600 grit's fine, so that's pretty much what we're on to now. Just going over it with the 600 grit, although I think I have to chop and change a bit and go back to using see, I'm having to fold the cloth and get it tucked into some of the creases and swage lines on the body and things like that, just to get all that oxidation out of there, because I just think that oxidation oxidation isn't a word. But yeah, I think some of that oxidation could prove itself to be to throw up a few problems with the paint itself, especially as it's going to be a two-stage, quite a delicate. It's not. If I was just going to be roughly going over it with a can of something, of anything, which, funnily enough, that is what happens to start with. That is going to be stage one. But if that's all I was doing, if I was just going to be going over it with like some thick gloss black from a Motor Factors, which then I think this would actually look all right, and I probably wouldn't need to be going quite as far with all this. But because I'm not, because I'm going over it with silver, and then going to be going over it with a transparent colour on top, it's important to get all this out there, because it's not, the oxidation, it's not rough to the touch, so it wouldn't affect, if you were putting a fairly inert paint on top of it, it wouldn't really affect anything, but I'm not, so it could. So it was worth spending the extra 5 minutes just getting every last bit of that off there and getting it so it's almost like it's almost got the sort of stainless steel finish, but we don't quite need to take it to that level, because there we go, we've put some paint on. That's just some basic silver out of an aerosol for now, so it actually looks like a restored version of the other one at the moment. But the wheels need doing, the glass needs something else doing with it, there's another colour to go on there yet, and then of course there's the other Volvo, the rough one. That's part of the 10 that I'm going to be doing all at once, so plenty of Volvo action coming up. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching.